Hey there, guys. So I received a question about whether or not you could get strong just training with stones and natural rocks. Long story short, yes, you can. Would it be the best option? No. And the reason I say that is you need to look at a few different factors. So if you were training with, natural stone and that was the only thing you had available, you're still going to build a very strong physique. It's also going to differ in its function and looks compared to someone that's able to utilize, barbells, dumbbells, and machines. So typically when you're lifting natural stones and such, the things that give out is going to be your lower back, abs, and forearms. For a lot of people, it will just be their grip. So, forearms again. So that being said, once you get accustomed to it, you're going to end up with a lot, stronger and bigger forearms, core, lower back, but they're always going to be your weak links, as opposed to someone that's at a gym and is able to, say, for instance, use a leg press where they can, sit down and, push the weight using their legs only. If you're trying to do the same, squat movement with a stone, one, you're going to be limited by what you can actually pick up, and for a few people that's going to be grip, and then holding the stone in place, that's going to require a lot of upper back strength, so that's going to sap your energy before your legs give out. On the flip side, there's a lot of athletes that only train with barbells and dumbbells or machines, and they lack a lot of the strength required for lifting natural stones. It just comes down to what you need for your sport. So if your sport was, say, more grappling or wrestling or something like that, training with stones is going to give you a bigger advantage because your strength in the forearms and your grip is just going to be so much better. Your core strength and lower back strength, are used to moving objects that are, awkward, being stones that don't have their center of gravity is not even. And that's much like your opponent that you're going to be competing against. So if you keep that in mind, it's going to help, bring your sport up to the next level. For me, I like, including a combination of both of them. I find the additional core and lower back strength carries across really well to my squats and deadlifts. I also find that it's nowhere near as taxing on my nervous system as opposed to standing under a really heavy squat bar. It's a different sort of mindset as well. I also like the simplicity of just going out and, picking up a weight that's already preset. I don't have to load it. I don't have to do much else to it or get ready. And it's sort of a challenge at times to figure out where you're going to place your hands, and just getting yourself, set for the lift. You also learn how to brace really well with stones, because if you don't, you get injured quite quickly. Barbell, it's a little bit more forgiving, but then when you get up to the really heavy weights, you would get injured if you don't brace correctly. On the flip side, with stones, when it gets really heavy, chances are you're not going to pick it up off the ground, unless your forearms are strong enough, and then you've probably worked up to the point where you've picked up enough natural stone that you understand the importance of bracing and how much easier it makes the lift. So yeah, that's sort of my take on it. You can definitely get strong, as I've mentioned. A few of my favorite, exercises with the natural stone is, stone over yoke, stone squat, the rows, the one arm shoulder press. The other one that's not included in here is just picking it up and walking for distance. I find that works really well. And holding different shaped stones, your position for squat is going to be different. You might go stone up to waist and, work it more as a deadlift. With some lighter stones, you can also do front and lateral raises. The stone that I use for the one arm shoulder press, which is coming up shortly, you can also use two hands and curl the weight as well. So it gives you many different options. In terms of chest, you can obviously do push-ups, but then you can lay on your back. You can have someone pass you a stone as well, and you can bench press it for as many reps as you possibly can. So there are quite a lot of things you can do, but it's just, it comes down to what you're trying to achieve with training. For me, I like this for conditioning as well, and conditioning is a big part of long-term success in the sport. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, hit like and subscribe, and have a great day wherever you are.